guys, welcome back to the Age Journal. Candia here to share with you February Genevieve's design team template, the mini everlasting printable minty album in the doily design, and all of Genevieve's Etsy shop, her YouTube channel, and the video of her using this template will be linked to below in the description box. And we today are using this template to make lots of pockets. I used it in this little journal, and so the pages I used are the mini main base page, part 1, option B. And I use that to make a pocket instead of using it as a base. I used on page 6 mini pocket option A, and on page 7 mini pocket option B. On page 8 I used the mini envelope pocket part 2 and the mini insert option A for the pockets. And I used the mini envelope pocket part 1, and the part 2 is right here that I referred to in the last page, and this is on page 10. I'm not sure if I said that already. And then on page 13 I used the mini pockets right here, and the mini tabs that are on page 13. And on page 14 I use the double pocket option A, and that is what I used from the template in this journal. Now this journal I used recycled a box. As you can see, it's a cookie box. My sister sent this box to me and I fell in love with it, and I knew I wouldn't be able to part with it, so I thought I'd make my own journal for myself with this. So that's what I've done with this template, is made a journal. Well, it's more like a journal slash binder, or not really binder, but planner slash traveler's notebook kind of thing going on here. This is going to be for my purse, so I didn't do a whole lot of frilliness sticking out of it, and I tied in the signatures, so that's where we kind of got the traveler's notebook thing going on here. And I didn't want to cover up the spine, and that's why I did that, because the girl goes onto the spine, and I didn't want to cover too much of this up, so I just covered it up with a little bit of the little collage here on the bottom. But on the back you can see what I covered up is just a picture of the cookies. And I used some lace and velvet ribbon and a flower and a butterfly, and this little tag that I attached this bird and heart to, some lace and rickrack coming off of that. And the closure is just some clips that I attached some binders, seam binding ribbon to. On the inside I have the envelope pocket in the front, and this is where I can put my business cards. And as I said, I used the doily design as what I chose for the template, and I have that on the inside here. And this is where I used that insert, that pocket insert, and I actually kind of made it into a trifold instead of using it as the usual insert, so it sticks right in there. And I put this pin up here to help keep that pocket closed. And then I used the double pocket right here, and this is where I use the main base as a big pocket. So on this front I cut out lots of pieces of paper to, if I need to like make a little note and leave it with people, I have some pretty papers to do that with. And I have lots of different papers in here. I didn't dye, tea dye or coffee dye any of the papers that I used because I wanted to keep the vibrant colors. I just edged all the papers in sepia ink. And then I did some stenciling on the back side of all the designer paper to give some life to the whiteness of the pages. So since I didn't coffee dye it, and so that's what I did on that. And then this is where I use the tabs. So I just used them to mark out different sections of the planner areas of the book. And I just put little tabs throughout and little cute little knick-knack thingies. Some arrows, some little tuck spots, double pockets here. Use some book pages. Lots of paper in here. So this is going to be for taking notes, for writing down, you know, project ideas, for keeping people's information in here if they don't have a business card. That's why I have this. I took this out of a planner. So it has telephone numbers where I can keep it if I don't want to put them in my phone because they're not people I really know, and so I don't want to put them in my phone. So another pocket. This one I had to like size down, so I folded it down a little bit more on each side to fit the page. Lots of stickers. This cool book page that had a picture of a giraffe in it I had to include because I just thought it was so pretty. Another pocket there from the template. Lots of pretty papers. Here's another envelope pocket, and this is the center of the signature, and this is what I'm going to be showing you how to do. So how to get the center of the signature with this pocket as the center. So another tab, kind of marking kind of another, so I can use them as sections. I haven't written what I want them sections to be on here yet because I'm not sure how I want to delineate the sections. Another pocket. But I did put one section real close to this, so I know I can get to that. And then I put one section right in front of this. This is a things to remember from a planner. Pretty stamp that I had picked up at a thrift store. So lots of stenciling. This pretty stencil with a bird in it. Lots of layering of just different ephemera. I'm fumbly hands today. Some little bling. So I didn't really leave any blank pages in here. I wanted everything just to be real fun. Love this bunny sticker, so I had to add that. Double pocket again with, and this is with the main base page, just like I did on the front of this signature, and turned it into a pocket. Looks like I forgot to stencil a page. Little clock here. So all the pages turned out nice and stayed nice and vibrant since I didn't coffee dye them, which goes along with all the vibrancy and the colors of this cookie box, which is just, I loved all the colors. Just, that's what I loved about the box, is how pretty it was. It just drew me in with the colors, and I just love vibrant colors. And did some layering here. Another pocket. Added a little paper clip there. And I have these little hanger paper clips that I thought were so cute, so I added that there. And then I have this little piece of rock that I glued in that looks like a shape of a little bird to me. Hopefully you can see that shape in it too. It's kind of like looking at clouds. Everyone sees a different shape. And then I found this in a planner that I have that says Project Planner, so I thought that was be cute for this. So I added that in. Here's the middle of the second signature. Blah, blah, blah. I'm tongue-tied today. That I may put the envelope with the signatures in, and the sewing is tucked inside there. So I love how this turned out. I can't wait to start using this. I've been dying to get it videotaped because I've had it done for a couple of days, but life has gotten in the way of being able to tape this, so I haven't got to start using it yet. And now that I'm getting it done, I can start using it, and I am so excited to use it. I've been looking at getting a different purse just to be able to use it, because the purse I'm currently using is too small to carry this in. I do have a bigger purse I can carry this in, but you know, this is a great opportunity to get a different purse. You know, us girls, we need to always be getting another purse. So that is this journal. I hope you guys like it, and let me show you how to do that envelope pocket that we're going to insert into the center of a signature. So you start with these two pieces. I just traced them out onto pattern paper. So I traced the main base page part 1 pocket, or mini envelope pocket part 1, onto some paper, and I left the tabs on this one, and then I traced envelope pocket part 2 page, and I cut all of the tabs off of this one. So you're left with tabless part 2 and the tabs on all of part 1. Okay, so what you want to do is take your part 1 and your part 2, and you're going to, first you want to make sure you ink it all up. And I do ink down a little bit on the tabs because this doesn't come all the way up. So I like to ink down a little bit to the part that's showing. Then you're going to take your glue or your tape, whichever one it is that you have, and you're going to just glue this bottom tab to your part 2 of your envelope. That is all you're going to glue right now. You're not going to glue anything else. And you're going to kind of make sure you get it centered between the two sides. Make sure it's on the straight on the back. And if it's a little bit long, you can always check it on the back and cut it a little bit. See how I ended up a little bit long on this side, so I'm going to just take my scissors and I'm just going to trim that off. And then you can also take your ink and ink up the back side a little bit if you need to. And then that will make it as well so nobody can see it. So now that we got a good front and a good back. So you're going to leave that for a few minutes to dry. And I already have one that has dried. And we're working on this book that I'm making. And it has 2 signatures. And I already have one signature in. And the second signature, I have an envelope that's going in the center that's already dried. And when I'm doing signatures like this, I always start with graph paper and I measure out the size of my spine and cut out a piece of graph paper that is the right size that I need. And then I count how long it is and calculate the half point and circle the half point, and then half that in half and circle those. And on this one, it worked out perfectly that since I was doing 2 signatures, that it was evenly distributed for it to be in between one of the lines, and there would be a line in the center. So that worked out perfectly for me. So and then I always mark a T for the top of it, because when you poke your holes in your spine, and you go to poke your holes in your signatures, you want to make sure you are doing it the same exact way, that this is the top of the signature on here as the top of the spine is, because if you accidentally turn it around, it won't match up and you'll have a funky spine going on, and you will have holes that you've poked in the wrong places. Trust me, I've done it before, and it's frustrating to say the least. So when you get your envelope all glued, you're going to take it and you're going to put it in the center of your signatures. And then we're going to take this first we're going to clip it with a big alligator clip, and we're going to hold the signature all together. Then we're going to take this and we're going to fold it over. And I always start with the back spine, but it got messed up, so I haven't gotten it sewn in yet properly, because it didn't work out, let's just say that. I'm not going to get into the details of that, but it didn't work out, so it still needs to be sewn in. And so I usually start with the back one, but it didn't get sewn in, so I have to redo it. But so you fold the front one in anyways, since that's what we're working on right now. And this is going to be a little bit longer because my signatures are always slightly shorter than the outside part is to the signature, because you always want a little lip around your signatures, so that way your pages are not sticking out of your book. So I kind of center this in the signature, and that's what these grouping of papers are called, as a signature, by the way, if you don't know that. And you carefully clip that on, and then we're going to take a pokey tool, and I use a Tim Holtz pokey tool, and that's what I call it. I'm sure it has an official name, but this is from Tonic Studios by Tim Holtz. And then we're going to poke the holes in the center. I always start in the center. I don't know why. You can do it how you want to. And we're going to poke through this till it comes out, and you want to try and make sure you're going through this to the center of the spine. And to do that, I always usually kind of close my book a little bit to make sure I am getting through to the center. And it takes a little bit of elbow grease, and that's okay. Just twist and work it, and it will go through. And once you're done with poking all your holes, you can just toss this away. And then you have this ready to be sewn into your journal. Now, I always use, upholstery thread. That's what it's called. I go to Hobby Lobby or Michael's, or not Michael's, or Joann's, and get upholstery thread. It's very strong, and it rarely ever breaks on me. I have had it break a couple of times, but that's a rare occurrence out of the hundreds of journals I've made. And I use a needle that is for binding books, so it's dull on the end, but you can use a regular needle if that's all you have from a sewing needle. And you always, when doing this, is just a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So when you're doing a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, you start from the middle and you're going to take it through the center hole, and I take it down to the bottom hole, and then I take it through the bottom hole in the signatures. Sometimes it's a little fussy going through and you have to work at it a little bit. But thankfully right now, since I'm on camera, it's working great. Woohoo! I'm excited about that because it's frustrating sometimes when it's a little fussy to go through. And I did add some extra paper to the spine to reinforce it because I am just using cardstock for this spine. Normally I use something a little bit heavier weight, but I did not want to cover up this beautiful Tim Holtz paper that I'm using. And so I just am using a cardstock spine. So now I just pull on the strings to make sure they're tight, and then I'm going to, since it's really long on one side, I'm going to even it up to make it easier for me to tighten the strings. And I just take and I tighten them in the center circle till they're stuck on against each other. So if you get it into the center hole and they stick against each other, then you don't have to worry about them coming apart, and you can just tie them without holding it with your finger and trying to tie it again. And that works out really good. So I just tie it in like 2-3 times, and then you just cut them off. And then what we do is we glue up the side, both the sides of the envelope, part A or part 1. And then we bring part 2 down. Oh, I forgot that it doesn't go all the way up. I'm just gonna have to wipe that glue off. Let me grab a baby wipe. Okay. And then you press down to make sure the glue sticks real good. And then you have an envelope in the center of your signature, and it hides your sewing, and you have that inside your signature. And I need to fix this one and get that sewn in, and it will be just like this one. And then you have two book signatures inside, and you have a journal with that simple. And I will be covering the spine with some fabric or lace, and that's how simple it is to make a journal and hide your signature in an envelope with this envelope, pocket envelope. All you have to do is glue the end and then wait and glue up the sides after you've sewn it into your journal. So I hope you guys have had fun and got inspired, and please leave me a comment, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.